And welcome to Symbols of the Waite-Smith Tarot, Five of Pentacles. In our system, five stand for change, adaptation, challenge, struggle, conflict, and reaction, while Pentacles represent tangible reality, skills, finances, and practical matters. Some traditional meanings of the Waite-Smith Tarot, Five of Pentacles, are financial and health challenges, loss of job or home, being an outsider, alienation. It has been called a card that is good for love but not for money. Looking to the card, we see two infirmed figures walking in the snow. One figure uses crutches and has only one shoe. He wears a blue tunic and has a bandage around his head and a bell around his neck. The other figure is barefoot and hunched over and wears a red shawl covering her head and shoulders. Snowfall is occurring, and there's a black background with a church window behind them. In the window, we see what appears to be stained glass, dominated by five golden pentacles. The fact that there are two figures in this card can represent cooperation, relationship, companionship, community, or being part of a marginalized group. That they appear poor and infirmed shows misfortune, hardship, and disability. It is often said of this card that they have been left out in the cold. The two figures are walking, which shows movement, change, or following a certain course in life. That they are together but not interacting with one another suggests a sense of personal isolation, introversion, and loneliness. The falling snow shows transformation, obscuration, and bleakness. Snow is sometimes a symbol of death. It shows coldness, isolation, and despair. Turning to the figure on the left, we find that he appears to have a bandage around his head, which can represent an infirmity of the mind, a weak will, or a consciousness of poverty. Also, he wears a bell around his neck. In the Middle Ages, people suffering with leprosy were made to wear this bell or carry clappers so that people could hear them coming. It shows his status as an outcast. It shows separation and estrangement. This figure wears only one boot, with the other foot being bare, signifying being uneven footing, being ill-prepared, on the wrong path, or headed in the wrong direction. He is using crutches, which symbolize aid and support, or an anchor in the physical reality, but also difficulties and dependency and impotency. He is wearing a blue tunic. The color blue shows piety, religion, the soul, and contemplation, but also coolness and depression. A tunic can represent a covering or a thing of protection and has a close relationship to the soul, as it is said that the body is the tunic of the soul. Turning to the figure on the right, which appears to be a woman, we find that she is barefoot, signifying deprivation, vulnerability, exposure, and inappropriateness. Her posture is hunched over, showing that she is cold, elderly, or sick. She looks weighed down, burdened, or lacking in confidence. She wears a red shawl. A shawl is a covering or a mask. It shows hiddenness, or it can denote prayer and humility. The color red signifies the conscious will, vitality, passion, the heart, and love. Our figures are outside of a church, showing that help is nearby, or it may suggest that the figure's poverty is of a spiritual nature, or that they are outsiders, showing disaffection and alienation. The church itself can represent the kingdom of heaven, guidance, and safety, or it can represent blind faith and hypocrisy. Our pair is walking by a window. A window can symbolize a portal which we can move through into a different reality, or negatively, it can serve as a barrier, a boundary, and suggest a lack of involvement by the people who are inside. The window is of stained glass. The patterns remind us of a puzzle and how many small parts make up the beauty of the whole. It shows patterns in the complex details of existence. It shows organization and mystery. The glass of the window itself is a fragile material which can easily get covered with dust. Therefore, we must treat it gently and clean it so that a light might shine in all its glory, a metaphor for the inner light of the soul. There is a golden light coming through the window representing faith, spirituality, the light of God, and the hope and safety found within one's spiritual community or belief system. It represents our own inner light, revelation, hope, and optimism. The major feature of the stained glass is the 5 golden pentacles. The 5 points of the pentacles represent the 5 elements: earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. The number 5 also represents the phenomenal world and the 5 senses. And finally, we have a predominance of the color black in this card, showing mental or emotional darkness, the unknown, mourning, and death. So those are just some of the symbols of the Waite-Smith Tarot 5 of Pentacles. I hope you will join me next time for the 6 of Pentacles.